This video is going to be on a grammar concept talking about two verbs in the same sentence. Now, in French, when you have two verbs in the same sentence, you follow the same exact rules as you would in English. So let's look at those. So let's look at this sentence. I want go to the store. Is that correct? No, it's not. Why is it not correct? Well, it's not correct because you've got two verbs in the sentence and they are both conjugated. Okay, you cannot do that in English, just the same as you can't do it in French. So the second verb, as well as any other verbs that follow that verb in the same clause, must be in the infinitive, okay, the unconjugated form of the verb. So in order to have this correct in English, we say, I want to go to the store. This is our verb number one. This is verb number two. Okay, verb number two is in the infinitive. In English, it's really easy to make a verb in the infinitive because all you do is put to in front of it. So to go. Now, let's look at the French. French rule is the exact same. Once you've got multiple verbs in the same sentence, you conjugate the first verb, and every verb thereafter must be in the infinitive. So let's look at our example here. This is the same thing. I've just translated over into French. Je vais au magasin. Is that correct? No, it's not correct. We have two verbs, veux and vais, in the sentence, in this one clause, but both of them are conjugated. And that can't happen. You cannot conjugate two verbs in the same sentence. So, what has to change? Well, verb number two has to change. Every verb after the first one must be in the infinitive. Therefore, your sentence changes to Je veux aller au magasin. Again, we have two verbs, one, two, except verb two is in the infinitive. It's in the unconjugated form of the verb. Now this rule works always in every sentence. As long as you have one clause. If you have two clauses, then you're going to have more than one verb that's conjugated. But in this case, in these examples that I drew up, there's only one clause. Okay, but if there were two clauses, then it would change it. Obviously, the next clause would then have a conjugated verb. But this verb still is in this clause right here. Okay, an example of adding a second clause would be because I want to buy something. All right, then you would have another conjugated verb because it is a second clause. So each clause can only have one conjugated verb per clause. Every verb thereafter must be in the infinitive. Okay, that's a rule for English, just like it is for French. Okay, we're teaching, obviously this is for French, but using it to show you, using English grammar points to show you French points. Okay, so hopefully that will help you understand a little bit better. You can watch this video as many times as you'd like in order to get this concept. You can also feel free to ask me questions before, during, or after class, or email me questions or make a comment about the video below, and I will try and answer your questions as soon as I can. And I will see you in class.